From my own experience in going to school in Camilton at the high school, being there at that time and not having anything at that school. There was no language. The history was all European history or Canadian history or American history or about the world wars. It touched nothing about Mi'kmaq or First Nation people in the territory. None of that was taught to me in school. And then I went to university, still nothing, right? Today we're a little bit more fortunate, I think, with our students that are at that same school that I was at, because we're in there, we have staff in there. We're ensuring that curriculum is being indigenized. We're ensuring services to our students from the Mi'kmaq lens, not from the colonial lens. When we started the program, we made it very clear to McGill, this is how we want to do it and what our approaches are going to be. So as an example, when it comes to the hiring of instructors or professors, they're vetted by the Council of Mi'kmaq Educators. And we've created a document which they must follow when they're submitting their course outline. What they're insisting is that people, whether they're Native or non-Native, who want to teach within our programs, when they're submitting their course outline, they have to prove or they have to demonstrate that the course that they're going to be delivering is indigenized. So the standards of the Council of Mi'kmaq Educators, in my opinion, are higher than that of McGill. If you want to work with us, this is what you have to do. And what's even more exciting is that the students themselves insist on it. And they evaluate the instructors based on that, which is fantastic. So we're asserting our jurisdiction over education. We're doing that because it's our right to do that. But what's missing to be able to, I guess, continue enforcing that throughout all of education, and not just universities, but, high schools, colleges, universities, however you want to look at it, is where's that written law, if you will, that says this is what our education system is, this is how we view education, this is how we educate our children and our young people. So that's what's missing. We do it, we say it, but it's not written. It's not written that this is how we do things. And we haven't yet consulted with community. And I guess that's the key, is that I can say, I think this is what education or the sector should look like, or what the authority should be. But unless it comes from the community, then it's just some kind of top-down approach, and it won't work. It has to come from community. Community needs to get involved in how education should be structured. And when I say education now, I mean education, training, employment, and adult education, all of it. There's still that vision. What if the people say, hey, we want a high school in our community? I think that would be fantastic, right? So you continue from Alexi Dalgitpo School, and you go into a high school in our community, and then we can ensure that, and we don't have to fight with, if you will, because we'll be doing it. We need to hear from community about how they want all of this to be structured. And that's what's important. So in this project, in this first phase, that's what we want to do. We want to get from community what they see this looking like. What would a law in education look like? Would that law in education create an education authority? If we have an education authority, then how would that be structured? Who would be involved? What would be their responsibility, their role? So this is the kind of information we need from community in our first phase of the project, so that when we move into the second phase, then we can engage them in the decision-making process. We all need to work together. So the community has to be involved. They have to tell us what they want for education. And then we can move forward and develop it, whatever that is.